Nithyanandam. My name is Sri Nithya Maharaj.
And my name is Sri Nithya Sukhananda Maharaj.
And welcome to the Nithyananda Rudra show. Today we're going to be discussing a little bit about what is going on right now in the whole entire Hindu Diaspora. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has shared how all Hindus should work their way and do the pilgrimage to Ayodhya, and so many beautiful instructions and blessings he has given for us, and instructions also on how we can celebrate this grand event on January 22nd, the inauguration of the Ram Mandir in Ram Janmabhoomi. The Prana Pratishtha of the deity will be happening on that very day, and Kailasa is going to be attending. So today we wanted to give two kind of viewpoints on this whole event happening, especially when and how we learned from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, from Swamiji directly, how we can celebrate Rama. And many of the younger generation may really want to learn about this content, because you may have heard the grand stories of Rama, but have never, and also maybe even wanted to actualize and make it a part of your life, but you never actually did it. But we wanted to share, especially Sukhananda Maharaj is going to share about how Swamiji showed him the ideal in Rama, and myself, how I came from a background knowing Rama, but how it moved from there into a real deeper connection and devotion to Kailasa as a whole, and the whole understanding of a Hindu sannyasi. So let's first talk about Hindu sannyasi. See, today many people, many different people, think that enlightenment is something that you can dedicate your life for. But what we learned from Swamiji is that you can work from that very space, right? How he teaches yoga, from the very space of enlightenment, you manifest the powers. From that very space of enlightenment, you do yoga. It is not for enlightenment, it is from enlightenment. It is a whole different perspective, at least in the modern context. But if you see the ancient wisdom, even if you take Rama's example, you will see that when he lived a life like that, all of his gurus, all of his way of being brought up, all of those people had an extremely high vision to what this person was capable of. And that is what a guru actually holds. And share your experience, Maharaj. You had actually tell us more about how you came to even asking Swamiji and how he gave the solution as the story of Ramayana for you.
Yes. Just before answering your question, Maharaj, I just wanted to expand a little bit more about what Rajananda Maharaj was sharing. That it's not something, enlightenment is not something you work your whole life towards, right? It is something how Swamiji, how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is sharing it has to be given to you.
Yes.
Like you cannot do something, how can a man suddenly become divine? It can never happen this way. Even when you look in the yoga, how Bhagavan is defining the yoga, it is not from man to divine, it's from divine to man. So man cannot make it, he has to be given. So when we have the initiation of Swamiji, when Bhagavan initiates us into various powers of Paramashiva, when he initiates us, that he gives his very own state and space to us. And from that space, we start doing, whatever work we do and all other things. So the lifestyle itself is very, very active. It's not like you go and you sit under a banyan tree for like 24 hours and the whole day you just do japa. You can do japa, like we will do Mahavakya chanting, but it is not something separate from the work that we do. Yes, we do chant Mahavakya all day. We can chant in 24 hours as well. But at the same time, do all the work that we're supposed to do. So Mahavakya is like a support for us to be in that space of Swamiji of Paramashiva and continue to perform the actions.
Yes. And your story, what is it, the way that Swami has introduced you to, because you didn't know Ram before meeting Swami. So your introduction to Rama is what he said. So please share about that.
Yes, actually the first introduction, of course, I heard about Rama was from Swamiji. And I started, watching one of those serials that Swamiji told. They just did much, very, very well, especially in the quarantine time. So I started there. But of course, when you watch a serial or something, even though the actors did a very good job, but they may not be in that very space embodying that whole consciousness of Rama himself, right? Mm-hmm. So, but Swamiji is having that, right? So naturally, I went more into seeing what Swamiji is speaking about Rama. And then I wanted to read also more about Rama from the authentic source. So, and then Swamiji himself, in fact, suggested me a book by Ramakrishna Publications. It's Adhyatma Ramayana. And that is a very wonderful book. It looks at Rama more as an incarnation. So it's more, it's like Ramayana. It doesn't focus so much on the history part. It more focuses on who Rama is. And in our case, it's like exactly like applies to how we live our life, because Swamiji is an incarnation of Supreme Consciousness, right? Like Rama himself, you can say. So it's more relevant for us and useful for us to read something like that, where the whole book is more looking at Rama as incarnation, and from the Advaitic perspective as well.
Okay.
So that's how I started getting more introduced into Rama, and it was wonderful. Like, it really awakens that bhakti in you.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Actually, the beautiful thing is, in a recent message, the Swamiji has shared with us about how there are these 4 different philosophies in Hinduism: Dvaita, Vishishtadvaita, Advaita, and Shuddhadvaita. So we get to see in this way that he's reviving the whole tradition. It's based off experience. And the beautiful thing is, you were seeking that experience. What is Rama? How can I have the best of Rama? And you are guided by the Guru to have the authentic experience that is directly for you, and that would be available to you in the Adhyatma Ramayana. As you're explaining, he is an incarnation, and how to live as an incarnation. So the ideals that you would be picking up is going to be something that's going to be molding your life, because as a sannyasi, both of us, we are at his feet, and he molds our life, builds our career, and shapes us the way that we're supposed to be. So if we are saying that we want to take Rama as an ideal, he's putting forth the literature that is going to actualize Rama in the way that is going to help us manifest him in a perfect way in our lives. Of course, different Ramayana versions are there, different understandings you get there. But I think the perfect way that he is sharing with us about how to idealize Rama in the context that is going to be the best for us and the best for the world through Kailasa, to whatever our mission is the Adhyatma Ramayana. So looking forward to seeing more about what the Adhyatma Ramayana celebrates as Rama, and how you can really learn from that. And I thank you for sharing that, Maharaj. But ideally, can you say some of the things that you learned from this Adhyatma, or learned about Rama from Swamiji, that is going to be useful in everybody's life?
See, for me, basically, what I learned is tremendous sacrifice that Rama embodies. And not just Rama, actually, all of the characters, if you can say, of Ramayana embody those qualities.
Okay.
And how Swamiji himself is sharing that in the very, like, Rama's whole life is a sacrifice. And how just to show the world how the ideal person should live. Like, to take an example, when just to keep his father's word, right? He literally sacrificed like his whole, his kingdom, everything, and decided just to keep his father to integrity to the word that he gave. He decided to sacrifice everything and went to the forest for 14 years. And this is one side. Then even in this part, the sacrifice of his brother Lakshmana and Sita as well. They could have said, okay, it's only Rama who has to go, right? But what did they say? They didn't say that. They not just went with him. They felt it's such a blessing and a privilege to be around him, to live with him, and go with him into the forest. This is just one example of the sacrifice in.
Yes. That is the way. That is the same way that they had celebrated Sri Rama. Is the same way the whole Hindu diaspora is now celebrating Sri Rama. In fact, you may not be caught up with the way that the whole blood is pumping for this inaugural event. The whole world is going to be celebrating, actually, and it's getting prepared at that scale, in fact. And it's a beautiful time to see, and many new things to see going forward, and how many of the things that we've kept, but we thought were real understandings or philosophies or ideologies, they're just going to be dropped out because we make temples. We celebrate the deities. We celebrate that he manifests in front of him and he answers our prayers, and we do puja to him, and we love him and celebrate him. So that the way that when Lakshmana and Sita celebrated him, And then Hanuman, of course, the same continues with all of our devotion, with all of our life. So one of the things that I wanted to share here is when we were getting trained as the Hindu sannyasis, we get to also see that the way that Swamiji is teaching us to set up our life is actually the same way that Vashishta and Sri Rama's gurus had taught him how to set up his life. Of course, see, the moment of moving from parents to the guru, that incident is also there, and we experience that as felt in our life, from removing the social conditioning to being at the feet of the guru. And from the guru, learning how to set up that powerful career, that life where we're going to be contributing to the world, stopping the negativity, stopping the wrong narratives, the wrong understandings from happening, and bringing out the inspiration and real revival that Swamiji is doing in Kailasa. So it really is a beautiful way that parallel is a beautiful point that I wanted to share with everyone. As Hindu sannyasis, many people aspire to be Rama. And in fact, in our history, we always do this thing of one-upping our way of praising Rama or celebrating Rama. See, one day you'll have a way of celebrating. The next day, another person will come and he'll say, no, yes, Rama said that, but he's greater because he did like this. And we had this culture, it's just there. Because you maybe not used to this culture, I wanted to share with you that every person wants to always celebrate Rama more and more, wants to idealize him more and more, put his example in every situation more and more and more. And it's just a tradition in itself. And that is why he's so celebrated and one of the most ideals in Hinduism. So more and more of that happens. And when you see the Hindu, the gurus, and see how they're being persecuted and how they're being wrongly defamed and literally killed off, that's the same kind of dangers that we saw in the Ramayana. When, as you said, Rama went to the exile, he was still upholding his Kshatriya dharma. He was protecting the rishis, the brahmanas, and their yajnas, and making sure that their ashramas are protected. See, even in this wake of this beautiful moment when the temple is being inaugurated, we can remember these events and remember that is what Rama did. And we wanted to share that as Hindu sannyasis, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is sharing with us how we can actually live as Rama more than anybody else. And that is something, because this whole tradition of celebrating Rama is there, we have that advantage of being guided. Because many people have this aspiration, many have this inspiration, I can be like Rama. But only when they come down to earth, think of their life and the scope at which society or what the life that is given to them in a platter. One job, one car, one house, one life, or this kind of a lifestyle. They don't see the scope of the greatness that they can achieve if they want to be like Rama, right? They are promised greatness. You come from a lineage of greatness. That is what a lot of us, and even people from other traditions, even when you have such profound spiritual experiences that you may have had coming from another culture, you may have had that, and you would have understood your purpose is not just a job and a car and all these things. You can share more about how you feel, like how after meeting Swamiji, your purpose has shifted to something grander.
Actually, yes, Maharaj. Like basically, when we only focus, we think our life is this much, and we think our life is only one car, one house, one wife, two kids. Then we lose the very ability to comprehend the life of incarnations.
Yes.
And it takes an incarnation to even, show it to you in a way that how Swamiji always raises our standard to completely level where we could not even imagine that, okay, this is how we can even aspire to be. Where he continuously, literally throws Brahmastra into all these inauthenticities which we have. So this is I feel the only way the human being can even start manifesting the qualities of the divine and of Rama when you have a guru. First of all, the guru is the one who is living that. He is completely embodying. We are so blessed to have Swamiji as a guru because he is incarnation, he is Paramavatar of Paramashiva directly, which means he is fully embodying the qualities of Rama and all other gods and goddesses. So he is showing to us by the example how we can live, how Rama lived. And if you really take time and study the life of Swamiji, you can see how he is embodying so many different qualities, and even you can see so many parallels of how what Swamiji is doing, what Bhagavan Shri Krishna has done, or Bhagavan Sri Rama has done. It will take for you to take some time probably to study, and then you will realize, but it will only happen with devotion.
Yes.
You need to have a right context and the right space to even, like if you want to inquire, you will definitely get it.
Yeah.
If you want to just inquire into what it is, what is that, you will definitely get what we are sharing with you. Yes, man.
Yes. Actually, beautifully you shared about how Swamiji is an actually living example of how you can even have an. And I think for me, before actually, I wanted to share also, before a lot of unfortunate criticism of Rama fogged up my image of Rama in my head. It was this criticism just lurked there, and it was absolutely unnecessary because it comes from a completely anti-Hindu kind of side of the world. So that fogged up my whole idea of Rama. But it was only after meeting Swamiji the fog cleared up, because as you said, the incarnation you have to see. You have to see that it can be embodied. See the blurry image that you get when you watch these serials and the understandings of Rama. Wow, what an ideal! What a perfect person he can be. That is a vision, but the blurriness of it gets reduced as you have the Guru in your life, as you listen to the Guru in your life. As you said, have the simple devotion, simple integrity to the Guru in your life. You have these truths, you start realizing that blurred vision or that one small aspiration to be Rama or to be as a character like him or to do the sacrifice as he is able to do, that is actually possible. And that is what the promise that the Guru gives us. And
I feel like it starts there. You can have, oh wow, this is how Rama, this is what he did. I also want to be like that. But unless you really experience the space of Rama, you will not be able to take sacrifices like he took. And the way you can experience is by actually learning and getting initiated by the Guru, who can transmit that space to you. So it is good to start like that, but definitely you to really, because you will not. How much will you get by reading from the books?
Yes,
you will not get that experience.
Yeah.
You may have an inspiration or devotion to know more, but then the thirst will come.
Yeah.
You want to experience. You want Rama, right? You want to feel that. You want to be like him, right? So for that, you do need an experience, and for that, you do need an embodied Guru who can transmit that experience.
Yes. And it comes in such a most beautiful way. It's directly Swamiji's work, Swamiji's hand. And in our case, as living Hindu sannyasis of the Nithyananda order, we have the direct access to be able to get his direct guidance on what is Rama, how can we learn about him. And he will tell the books to read. He will tell what to learn about. And that thirst is quenched immediately. We have the answers there, and it is a beautiful path in that way. Those who are idealizing Rama, those who want to celebrate him, whoever add an idea that, yeah, you did. First thing, come to the Guru to clear the fog of all the nonsensical criticisms. They are not even worth it, because it is worth only to celebrate Rama, because we're a tradition of that celebration. So first do that. If you're from my kind of a background, but if you're from Sukhananda Maharaj's kind of background, come to the Guru to just know how all of these paths are going to be something that will enhance your way to live, and as Swamiji has shared.
See, for me, I have not had any introduction until I met Swamiji about Rama.
Yes.
But once I met Swamiji, I came to know about this huge persecution which is happening on Hindu Gurus and Hindus as a whole. And of course, I have come across a lot of anti-Hindu ideas about Rama as well. So that is the reason I wanted to learn from the authentic source about the Rama. I was searching, and so beautifully Swamiji has guided me. But more than that, Swamiji told that he himself will reveal all the Upanishads revealed by Rama to Hanuman, and he will reveal from Akashic reading not only those Upanishads by Ramayana as well.
Yes.
So that is something which you cannot find anywhere.
Yes. And yes, we're in those times as well. The whole world is celebrating Rama, I think more of us who want to live this lifestyle, who want to actualize those inspirations that we get from our Puranas, who want to live enlightenment and from that space do incredible sacrifices in their life, right? Many people even just in a situation like today, maybe you may understand that Rama's sacrifices, like the sacrifices that he made for a whole race of people, or for a whole community, or for a whole kingdom, or for uniting a whole country, the sacrifices that he made, we will think at that level, but we will be satisfied with only the sacrifices that we may be doing in a small scale, and that too between a small relationship between you and your friend, or you and your partner in your life. And you will justify that sacrifice is the sacrifice as Rama. But it is actually the Guru who guides you and tells that's okay. But you have to know you're worth more than just this. You can know how to sacrifice. Maybe you can sacrifice your patterns. You can sacrifice your thought currents. If you do it, if you set the example, you can show others to do the same thing. And in this way, Swamiji really leads us to greatness and teaches us how we can live the great life that Rama lived. And those small micro situations of sacrifices will become something so much of a bigger possibility. And you can see it in Swamiji's example in itself. He's set up the only Hindu nation for all Hindus around the world, for 2 billion Hindus. That's a tremendous sacrifice. What all is being sacrificed, we're yet to learn that narrative even. But it's really happy to see that all of these are happening in the way. And we wanted to end today. Thank you, Sukhananda Maharaj, for sharing with us your experience, how Swamiji led you on the path and idealized Rama as an incarnation, and how you aspire to be like that as well. And thank you all for joining us today on this short podcast about Sri Rama and the Sannyas lifestyle. If you want to also join the Sannyas lifestyle, we encourage you to go to the link below and give your registration. We'll contact you right away and let you know about how you can live this very lifestyle as a sannyasi. Because if you really want to embrace Rama, the lifestyle of sannyas can really get you there. Because the way that Rama was groomed by his gurus, groomed by the whole of Ayodhya itself to be the king that he is, that kind of a greatness is possible for anybody. And that kind of a success is possible. And you can do it by becoming a Nithyananda sannyasi with the initiation, guidance, and care of our beloved Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. So thank you all for joining us. My name is Sri Nithyananda Maharaj.
And my name is Sri Nithya Sukhananda Maharaj.
And you are watching the Nithyananda Rudra Show. Thank you, Nithyananda.
Before Hindus could recognize, I have created a very powerful enlightenment ecosystem. Everywhere, spiritual awakening is happening, enlightenment is happening. People are manifesting enlightenment, manifesting powers, everything. In social media, we have started compiling all the views. It is crossing billion views.
Support Kailasa's efforts to serve humanity by sharing your time, treasure, or talent. Sign up via the link in the description.